Hey everybody, KC here. So, talk a lot about friction here and eliminating friction because I think that's one of the most important things any retailer can do in their business. And I had a great example or lesson in how to reduce friction during my trip to London. And it all happened 2 weeks ago when I landed in London. So I left for London on a Thursday night, 7 o'clock flight, United flight out of Newark International, landed at Heathrow at 7 a.m. Now, I got to tell you, one of my experiences with London during the week that I was there was that the traffic was terrible. It was so crowded. I mean, I know people talk about the UK economy being in tough shape. Well, let me tell you something. Based on the number of cars on the road, tourists on the streets, and also the people that I saw shopping in the stores, their economy looks just fine. Prices may be high, but it does not appear that there's a real problem in terms of the consumer economy. But anyway, so I get into London and land at 7 a.m. Get off the plane finally at about 7:15 a.m. Now, I had lots of options, right? I could have caught a cab into the city. I could have done an Uber into the city. But instead, I did something that I've done in the past, and I did it again. So there's this train called the Heathrow Express, and you can catch the train at Heathrow Airport. It's a pretty long walk to get there, and you got to go through, customs and passport control and stuff like that. But going through passport control, I never looked at a human being because they have these kiosks now where you basically walk up to it, you're on camera, you put your passport on a scanner, and in my case, I was through in about 5 seconds. They didn't ask me a question. Go through, I go to the Heathrow Express. The Heathrow Express runs every 15 minutes from Heathrow Airport to downtown. I got on one pretty quickly. It's a 15-minute trip to Paddington, okay? The Paddington train station. 15 minutes later, I find myself at Paddington. I go down into the tube and to catch a train to the Aldgate train station. And that probably takes about, 20, 25, 30 minutes, something like that. It's about 9, 10 stops. There's actually a way I could have done it faster that I didn't realize. But that takes a little bit of time. The only downside of getting from Paddington into the tube was the fact that I had a bunch of bags with me. I was going to be there for a while, and the escalator wasn't working, and there was no lift nearby. A very nice man came up to me and said, "Sir, can I help you with your bags?" I said, "Well, no, thank you, but I really wanted to say, how old do you think I am anyway?" Anyway, go down to the tube, take the tube to Aldgate, come up in the Aldgate train station, walk across the street to the hotel, a Canopy by Hilton, check in, go figure my room is ready. So I get off the plane at Heathrow at 7:15 a.m. I am in my room at the hotel at 9:15 a.m. 2 hours door to door. And it cost me about, $25 or so, $30 for the trip, as opposed to the well over £100 that would have cost me if I had taken an Uber or a taxi. It was, except for the escalator part, it was the most frictionless experience that I have ever had. Right from getting off the plane, going through passport control, getting on the Heathrow Express, and getting to the hotel. It was absolutely wonderful. I got to be honest with you, I can't think of another major city that I've ever been in where that is possible. So despite the fact that the London roads are clogged, they made it totally simple for me to do that. That's what retailers have to do. You have to look at every step in the process and figure out, how do we eliminate friction? Because friction is what kills you, right? Friction is what makes the customer experience less and less and less. It diminishes. It creates frustration. It creates anxiety. Sometimes it creates anger. And in my case, it was absolutely fantastic. And by the way, when I went back to Heathrow because I was coming home, it pretty much worked the same way. So, terrific experience and eliminating of friction. I think it's a great lesson. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.